You were disparaged by 3 C-suites for being from a blue-collar background, but you were seen as the translator explaining new policies and equipment to your field techs and guys in the trucks. That you were disparaged is fucked up in classism. That they had you do this shows the value of being a social class transitioner. And I actually actively work with organizations who know this and want this to happen because they know it benefits them. I'm Dr. Anna Kalshman. I research the unwritten rules of work for the working class. I've done leadership workshops with people from companies like Caterpillar, John Deere, etc., of people who may or may not have been to college, but have moved up from being people who actually put the parts together on the tractors to being the people who maybe run the shop that rents them out, or even going up to the corporate board level. Because these people have such valuable skills for above and below them. They are the translators. Slide I show in these workshops that executives tend to speak at a strategic level, thinking of entry level is thinking of what are the tasks I'm doing right now. The middle managers and directors are supposed to be the translators, but they're very often not told this, and they're also not trained how to do this in a class lens. So someone like you who has these skills is absolutely an asset, and it is inhumane and anti-business success that they treated you terribly because of it. And that sucks, because you'll see over here on the slide I have, am I still valuable? Because that is an experience that when I've been doing research on these groups, they often struggle with seeing the value of their work in white collar at all because they're used to seeing the tangible value of the work they did before. When you fix the parts on a tractor, you know, because the tractor works, what the value of your work is. And then you know that they rent that tractor out or they sell it. It's different when it's more abstract. That's why KPIs and metrics like that, when done well, are very important. A lot of them aren't done well. I'm an IO psychologist, so I'm a little uppity about that. Class researcher, hate elitism, but I'm uppity about poor measurement. But workplaces that understand this role, see the value, are the ones that thrive because there is so much customer value. Going to an auto shop and having someone there who actually understands cars. When I go to the auto shop, I want to talk to a mechanic. I don't want to talk to someone with an MBA. If they have both, great. That's not to shit on MBAs. Shit on a lot of ways MBA programs have been taught in the last 30 years, but that's a different conversation. Just type in my name and Jack Welch on YouTube and you'll see how much I've talked about that. These skills have to coexist, and a major class barrier that we have in corporate culture or white collar culture is to dismiss this collaboration. And it's stupid because the MBA who's never been a mechanic is not gonna be able to serve your customer. And someone who's been a mechanic who hasn't had any training in how business runs also isn't going to know how to get funding. Isn't going to know all the project management tools. And above all, the real difference is what I talk about, the unwritten rules. They're not going to know how to build relationships with people in that environment, in that context, in that class without training, which is what I do. So this is from a workshop where I then worked with these managers on here's a framework on how you can translate these class culture skills in a way that's not condescending and elitist. Because of, like you said, your name's Sweet Yankee T, you shouldn't be disparaged for a unique, profitable, badass skill set like translating across an entire organization. You deserve better, and frankly, we all deserve better. And some companies do know that. Or they find out the hard way.